Hello guys, JongLi here. Hope you had a nice Christmas and a good Boxing Day. I'm bringing you guys another online commentary battle for Rome Total War. This time it's a 1 versus 1 CWB rules battle. I'm playing as the Greeks, and my opponent is Terminator of the Crusaders of Hell Clan, and he's playing as the Thracians. So we'll run through the builds. I've got 6 Militia Cav, which is gold, 6 Armored Hoplites, which are gold, 1 Militia Hoplite, which is no upgrades, 4 silver Cretan archers, and 2 gold regular archers. Terminator's got 6 of these regular archers, which are gold with 2 chevrons. He's got 2. So he's got, I think, 5 militia cavalry, and they should be gold. 3 Greek cav, which are gold, and 5 phalanx pikes, which are gold, and 1 chevron. So with Greece and Thrace, they're pretty equal because Greece has pretty crap cav, and which is the same as Thrace. But Greece does have a bit of an advantage in the missile department, which is where these Cretan archers will shine. And yeah, Thrace has these longer pikes. So longer pikes are good in CWB because it's easier to catch cavalry with them, and it can also keep the shorter pikes at length. But because the stats of these phalanx pikes are low comparative to the armored hoplites, he will have to watch out for my infantry trying to get his infantry. But the pikes are shorter on these guys, so it will be a bit harder for me to just try and catch his cavalry with them. With my militia cavalry, I'm going to try and be a bit aggressive with them, but also try and protect them a bit, because I want to get rid of as many of his cavalry units as I can, but I can't sacrifice a lot of my own since this is all I have. The good thing about them is that they're really fast, so if they run away, they won't get caught. But the bad thing is you do need pretty good micro to use them very effectively. So yeah, the archer fight's starting. In terms of the archers, I think it's fairly even, although I probably have an advantage because these Cretans got off the first couple volleys. So yeah, and what he's gonna have to try and do is also save some archers to shoot my armored hoplites with, because if he uses them all up on, if he uses all the arrows on my archers, and I've just got a ton of armored hoplites left, he can't compete with them with just the phalanx pikes and the light cav. So Denarii going for some fancy things on that side. I got one of my militia cav caught by the Greek cavalry there and militia cav, so that was a mistake on my part. I'm gonna keep running this one away, and while he's distracted by this unit, I'm gonna try and kill this unit with 2 units of militia cav, which works out. He does see it, but it's too late by then. So I was thinking about attacking this unit, but I see he's got another 2 units coming, so I can't take that fight. I'm still just running away with this unit. I will need to like skirmish mode off and run it that way if I want it to survive though. So it might just die if this Greek cavalry unit charges it. Yeah, it looks like it's dead. Anyway, he's got some cavalry around here. Looks like this Greek cav unit is gonna rout on the front of my militia hoplites. Militia hoplites are pretty crap, but against light cav they're more than enough usually. the phalanx ability is very important. So here's Terminator getting a charge on my Cretans, but I managed to rout it. I should chase this off the field, but I think I get a bit lazy and I forget. So I was trying to save this unit here with 3 of my dudes, but I was too slow on that. And Terminator's seen this opportunity and he's going to try and bring more cab units around to get hits on my Cretan archers. But also I've engaged this militia cav unit, so it's like a 1v1. Luckily I won that in time and I am going to be able to get away just before Terminator can save that unit. So I've got 3 militia cav units left at the moment. I've still got some decent number of archers. He's got 4 pretty decent units of archers. I've only got like 3 at most. So I charge into this unit here, and I managed to rout that unit, and I'm going to try and get this unit killed as well. He should bring this unit to support, but I guess his micro wasn't there. So I managed to rout all that, so it's looking pretty good for me right now. But I didn't notice that these 2 units were here, and this unit did come back from routing, so that was unfortunate. So I put my guys here. What I should be doing with them is trying to get these archers out of the way. Oh, I have this 1 unit here, but it's not going to be enough by itself to rout the archers. But I should be using these guys to try and rout the archers over here, and just like, because right now I'm using them to protect my archers, but I don't even see these guys, and that's going to be pretty fatal. So he's going for the infantry fight now because he doesn't have much left. So I think he was trying for a knockout on my infantry and my cav at the same time. I forgot to put these guys in phalanx mode, so I got most of them killed. And yeah, as you can see there, 1 charge by Terminator routs all my cavalry pretty much. So that was pretty big waste, since I could have done a lot more with those. And as you can see, the unit over here routed because there were just too many archers for them to get rid of. So I've brought this armored hoplite around. I'm going to try and kill that unit before this unit gets there. I did manage to turn my pikes around in time to save this Cretan archer unit, but it's pretty vulnerable still. So I managed to kill that unit in time, and I'm going to be able to turn around and face these phalanx pikes. I tried to catch it, but it got away. But I managed to inflict some pretty heavy casualties on it, which was good. I routed a lot of these phalanx pikes, as you can see. My armored hoplites are still in relatively good condition, but I'm going to get this Cretan archer killed because I just wasn't paying attention to it. So I could have saved it probably by running it here, but just wasn't paying attention. Looks like some of my militia cav have come back, so that's good news. I can use this to chase down maybe 1 unit of archers, but that's probably it. Some of his phalanx pikes will come back as well, which is bad news for me. These archers are what I'm worried about right now, because if he gets enough time and he gets the angles right and he just shoots my armored hoplites, then I have a pretty good he has a pretty good shot at winning still. But because he's so low on cavalry, he can't really force me to box, so I can stay in loose formation and I can always try and face his archers. And if he goes for an infantry fight, I'll definitely win that quite easily, just by looking at how many guys he has left. He's only got like 1 maybe good unit left, or 2 maybe. So my guys are a definite advantage if that happens, and his cavalry is way too weak right now to force me into a box. So it's difficult for him to maneuver so that he can target um the sides he wants to target, but I think he could still do it potentially. Also, he's used up a lot of his arrows now. So these guys have arrows. These guys have arrows still, but these this guy they've still got arrows. I think eventually some of them run out of arrows, but they're low on ammo, I think, because the battle's just been going on for so long. So I'm out of archers and I'm out of cav. All I've got left are these armored hoplites. I'm trying to push these archers back and keep them running a little bit, and also maybe tempt him into going for the infantry fight or charging the cav. As you can see, his cavalry has been just like is just down to one militia cavalry unit at like 6 guys. So that's hard. That's like not even a threat to me. Oh, he's still got a few. So he's still got this militia cavalry at 8 guys, but it's still like nothing. I'm getting this. Somehow this unit came back for like the 3rd time. And I'm getting into his archers with them. So if we're at this unit, it'll be pretty good for me. And luckily it routes, even though my militia cav is exhausted. They're very tired as well, though. And they route because my armored hoplites are there. I think if my armored hoplites weren't there to provide morale penalty and boost the militia cav's morale, they probably would have routed instead of the archers. So that was pretty lucky. Lucky that they came back as well, because I mean they were exhausted and they were really low on men already, so I didn't expect them to come back. But getting rid of this archer unit is pretty big plus for me. He's only got this archer unit left that's really good, and this one. So these guys are like, oh, this one's alright. So he's got maybe 3 good archer units left. This one's come back, but it's down to 12 now, so a lot less than it was before. These guys are good. These guys are fine. These guys are fine as well. So he's still got some archers, some arrows left, probably. He's got these 4 phalanx pikes left. I think it's at this point that he starts going for the infantry fight. I thought he would have taken more time to shoot at my armored hoplites and stuff, but he doesn't. He just kind of goes in with these guys. And these guys are tired and winded because they've been running. So after I won that infantry fight the first time, he had to run them away, and some of them also ran away because they routed and then came back. So they are more tired than my armored hoplites, which just warmed up, which does make a difference. So my general's winded, but these guys are warmed up, so that's pretty good. And 1-on-1, my guys have a big advantage. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna move this armored hoplite unit around, and try and get these cav units onto that unit, stuck on that unit, and I'm going to try and use this armored hoplite unit to hit the back of these guys. I'm going to try and use this militia cav to chase off more archers, and use this militia hoplite unit to push these archers back. So I managed to catch his cavalry, and because his guys just aren't a match for my armored hoplites, I'm able to plow through them very quickly. So this general unit already pretty much dead. I've already routed 1 unit, and the pressure's getting onto these units on the sides here. So at this he admits defeat because, I mean, I've just got too many infantry units left. Apparently he was almost out of arrows on most of his archer units as well, and the cavalry was routed, of course. And I mean, they're militia cav, they're pretty good cavalry units, but they're not good when they're depleted, obviously. So well played to Terminator. Hope you guys all enjoyed that, and I will see you next time.